This is a product video for TeckWrap's Gloss Metallic Wrap Film, and here are the details. Product name Gloss Metallic, product number MT05G, type Renolit polymeric calendar, liner double-sided polyethylene coating, width 152 centimeters, roll length 18 meters, thickness 95 microns, comes in 6 colors. The adhesive is solvent polyacrylate, and the uses vehicles. On the outside of the box and in the core tube, be sure to document the lot number for safe record keeping. If using less than the amount of film on the roll for an install, be sure to save the plastic bag and the core tubes in the cardboard box. This will help protect the remaining wrap film for another wrap. In each box is a free TeckWrap sticker. It is important to note that the gloss metallic film has a clear protective liner that can or cannot be removed before squeegeeing, and has a moderate initial tack on the adhesive. To adhere the film to the surface, use overlapping squeegee strokes. Keep in mind that the gloss metallic film is very directional. This means that the section should be applied in the same direction in order to ensure a uniform finish. Using the logo on the liner to ensure quality is key for installers. Avoid overstretching the film past 10%, as this can cause the finish and or color to change. If this happens, the film can be picked back up, heat added to trigger the memory effect, then the install can start again without using a new panel. When using cutting tape, standard types will cut away the excess film cleanly with no jagged edges. Using heat guns, propane torches, IR heaters, and steamers is recommended, and here is the production and install details. Lot number and core tube, always check it. Outdoor warranty 3 years, indoor 5 years. Workspace temperature should be between 17 and 25 Celsius, and use standard install tools. Sequential order is critical to ensure a professional finish, so beginning with harder removals is key. The primary focus should be on any areas that have raised objects, like door handles. With the hardware removed, organize all the parts, particularly screws and bolts, for an easy reinstall. Use a portable air compressor on all edges and openings to remove fine dirt. After this, clean and clay bar the entire vehicle for a smooth finish. The final surface prep is to degrease with an extra focus on recessed areas and edges. Be sure to use a degreaser that doesn't leave a residue behind. To save material, measure, then cut down the gloss metallic film on a cutting table. Keep the top liner on to protect the face from accidental scratches during the production process. To help the install process, clearly label each panel so the installer can grab and go to ensure high workflow. Before installing a panel on a section, double check the logo on the liner to ensure that the direction is correct. This will avoid costly reinstalls. Trim off excess film with the liner on to use for objects like mirrors or door handles. Due to the moderate low initial tack, a good tip is to remove the entire liner. Place the liner under the vehicle for safekeeping, then prep the panel to start on the 50-50 point. This will ensure even distribution of tension. With the permanent hinge set, remove the top liner before going after the compound curves in order to allow the film to stretch evenly. On awkward transitions, be sure to use relief cuts to relax the multi-layered film. Next, use overlapping squeegee strokes on moderately flat areas. Once to compound curves, work in stages to avoid the material bunching up on tough sections. When making more relief cuts, to relax the film, a good tip is to cut away from the vehicle to avoid potential damage. When needed, heat the film to relax it, then stretch. There are times when it's clear that the material was overstretched. If this happens, do not continue. Instead, pick the film back up, trigger the memory effect with heat, then start again. This is critical, as well as pulling evenly to keep it under 10%. If bubbles occur during the install, take advantage of the air egress feature and simply press them away. With the gloss metallic wrap film squeegeed on the main body, set up the edges by tucking them in. Once ready, click the blade to ensure a sharp, clean cut, and focus on the corners first, as these are the hardest. Once cut, hit it with heat one more time, then squeegee away from the corners. On flat edges, go over them with a heat gun and a finger with an application glove, on for extra slide. To ensure long-term hold, it's critical to cut on the opposite side and wrap the film around the edge. This is because the gloss metallic film is calendar film, which means it shrinks 3 to 5% over time. A good tip is to use the cold pre-stretch technique and shrink the film on corners before squeegeeing. After working away from the corners, a good tip is to focus on body lines next, as wrinkles tend to bunch up here. Then, work away from these areas as well. The final step is to seal the deal on all the edges to ensure long-term quality. When done, wipe down the area to remove any oil and handprints, then move on to the next section. It's critical to lay cutting tape on certain sections before installing the gloss metallic wrap film if direct cuts on the body are required. After releasing the entire liner, lock the panel in with a long squeegee stroke at the 50-50 point. For open-sided recessed areas, feed the material in to avoid overstretching. This will avoid tension and adhesive lines. When impossible, feed the material into enclosed recessed areas like these letters on the bed of the truck. This can entail high-end professional skills, but the payoff is long-term hold. And using a wingtip buffer can be a good tip on these areas to avoid scratching. For good energy throughout the day, use platforms like these race ramps so the installer has a good body position. For moderate recessed areas, like on door handles, the gloss metallic wrap film can be formed in with an application glove and soap and water. To speed up installs, as well as help avoid mistakes, using teamwork, or what is called yo-yo moments, is critical. This allows the entire liner to be safely released, and the film glassed out on each section easily and quickly. Then the material can be worked on the body with 2 sets of hands instead of just one. This can come in especially handy on severe compound curves, like on the bed of this truck. For hardware off the body, like on mirrors and door handles, using a pivot vise comes in very handy. Use heat to soften the film so it conforms to the edges, then cut the excess film away with plenty of space. Keep in mind that the gloss metallic wrap film can be used as accent pieces, like stripes or custom letters and shapes. And here are the post-install details. Post-heat temperature 100 Celsius, overlaps 110 Celsius. Always be sure to safely reinstall the hardware, wipe down the vehicle with a proper aftercare product, and the cure time is 24 hours above 15 degrees Celsius. Before reinstalling the hardware, cut out these areas cleanly, then heat the edges for a professional finish. Carefully reinstall the hardware to prevent damage and make sure that it works. Post-heating all edges and recessed areas, even minor ones, is critical. This can take between 10 and 30 minutes, so be sure to schedule accordingly to avoid skipping it at the end. And here are the tech details. On Facebook, you can go to TeckWrap USA, Instagram, TeckWrap, their website is TeckWrap.com, and for direct contact, crm@TeckWrap.com. This has been a product review for TeckWrap's Gloss Metallic Wrap Film. Proudly produced by the Wrap Institute.